Hey y'all, so I wanted to get on here really quick and kind of do a little bit of a Bible study and talk to y'all about God some. And today I really wanted to talk about faith, involving God, and vulnerability with God, which is three very important things with our relationship with Christ. It's something that I'm also working on myself. And before we get started, I wanted to talk a little bit more on vulnerability. So, vulnerability is being open with God, not just about our strengths, but also our weaknesses. So, instead of always just talking to God about how happy we are, how thankful we are, how grateful we are, which we definitely need to do that, so don't get me wrong, I'm saying we need to be open with Him about when we feel weak. So, when we don't feel happy, when we feel upset, when we don't understand our weaknesses, we need to talk to God about those things as well. That's vulnerability, and it's very important in any relationship. One of my favorite stories to explain vulnerability, involvement, and faith, it kind of ties it all together, is Luke 18, the verses 35 through 43. And I'm going to read that really quick. So, then it happened as he is Jesus, was coming near to Jericho, that a certain blind man sat by the road begging. And hearing a multitude passing by, he asked what it meant. So they told him that Jesus of Nazareth was passing by. And he cried out, saying, Jesus, Son of David, have mercy on me. Then those who went before him warned him that he should be quiet. But he cried out all the more, Son of David, have mercy on me. So Jesus stood still and commanded him to be brought to him. And when he had come near, he asked him, saying, What do you want me to do for you? He said, Lord, that I may receive my sight. Then Jesus said to him, Receive your sight, your faith has made you well. And immediately he received his sight and followed him, glorifying God. And all the people, when they saw it, gave praise to God. So, that story is really, really cool to me. And one reason is they told that blind man to be quiet, kind of like maybe someone told you, maybe you told yourself that you shouldn't bother God with your problems. That's kind of what they told this blind man. But he cried out all the more. And not just that, Jesus stood still. Jesus did not move. He stood still and commanded that blind man to be brought to him. And that kind of makes me think that's what Jesus does for us. Jesus doesn't move forward. Jesus wants us to come to him. He doesn't want us to be quiet. And just like that blind man, we need to cry out to him all the more. Like, he cares. Like, we need to cry out to him. And also, one really cool thing is Jesus knew what the blind man wanted. Jesus knew that that blind man wanted him to heal him, obviously, but he still asked him, What do you want me to do for you? And this is where involvement and faith comes in, because Jesus knows what we want, but sometimes he's just waiting for us to ask him. And I'm not saying every time we ask we will receive. Sometimes God has a better plan and a better picture. But what I'm saying is Jesus waited for this blind man to ask him, which is a show of faith. If we ask God, obviously we have faith that it's possible. So when you ask God something, I feel like that is a show of faith in itself and its involvement. Jesus told the man to receive his sight, for his faith has made him well. So many times in the Bible, Jesus says that according to your faith, let it be done to you. Go your way, your faith has made you well. And that's something that I always think about. Like, maybe what if we ask God for something, or what if we're talking to God and we want something to happen, and Jesus is just, God's up there just saying, according to your faith, let it be done to you. But what faith do we have? You know? Does that make sense? So, just some things that I've been thinking about. And yeah, I really, really enjoyed this. I hope you did as well. I hope this gave you something to think about. Never be scared to be vulnerable with God, because honestly that really is how your relationship with Christ is going to grow. When you involve God in every little aspect of your life, when you invite him into the little things and tell him everything you're feeling, because God really does know. God cares. God already knows. There's no sense in hiding something that God already sees. You know, like, I mean, he made you. Like, we were made in his image. He cares about every little thing. So, I hope y'all have a very blessed day. I love y'all, and I pray for y'all. Bye.